Short story by Paul McCann entitled Bobo Goes Fishing. Bobo, who was born an orphan, was never lonely. In his early days, he found a home at Bosco's Boxing Club. The other members and their families had adopted Bobo as their own. As the local community became Bobo's extended family, who were very fond of him, Bobo paid back their kindness by throwing himself into running the boxing club as he did. This only for the love of it. He was it, I suppose. The main man, the bus driver, the trainer, the fundraiser, the cleaner, the whatever needed to be done had to be done. Bobo had a few lads who helped him, like Skater, Spider, Lefty, Mo, and Charlie, supported Bobo in everything, in and out of the ring. The boys at Bosco's Boxing Club trained hard and they fought hard. There wasn't much time to relax during the tournaments, and so at the end of the boxing competitions, Bobo loved to go fishing, just outside Ballywalter on the small wooden rowing boat. He enjoyed the peace and the quiet, sitting in the little wooden boat about a mile out in the open sea. It was another world for him out there. There was no distraction, just the emptiness of a lonely cosmos. He never told anyone about where he went, which made it even more intriguing for Charlie, who liked to be in Bobo's company most of the time. The last fight had been fought and won at Bosco's at the end of the season, and there was a party on that night. And what a night it was, with lots of nice food and drink. And there were ruffles and games and music, and there was dancing and a little sing-song to round the night off. After the party, when everyone went home, Bobo and Charlie started to take down the streamers and the decorations, and the balloons started to pop, and the bold Charlie, as usual, was there to help Bobo clear up and put the things away. There was always a lot to do, shutting up after the party was over at the end of the year. It was always a big job, and Charlie always made it even bigger by asking too many questions and taking far too much for Bobo's liking, talking. Charlie was humming away, and as he worked, the more he hummed, the more Bobo thought Charlie was in pain. Finally, the humming stopped, and there was silence for about 3 seconds when Charlie said in a confident tone of voice, "Hey, Bobo, I've got an idea." That's good, Charlie," said Bobo, who didn't know what to expect next. Charlie continued, when we open next year, why don't we have a party then?" Bobo stopped sweeping, and he looked. "What for, Charlie?" And Charlie said, "Because we won't have to clean up all this mess again at the end of the year," he said with a bit of a smugness. Bobo shook his head and he replied, "It don't matter, Charlie, because we still have to clean it up at the beginning or the end of the season, so we don't gain anything." "Oh, I see. Oh, well, don't worry about that one then, Bobo. I was just going to say, not to have a party at all, but then I changed my mind because I like the parties and the sweets, soft drink too. I like the music as well. Charlie loves music." "I know that, Charlie. Listen, that thing you're humming." Charlie was an innocent big lug of a lad, and he was humming this tune, and it went over and over in Bobo's head, and he couldn't take it anymore. "Is that your favourite tune then, Charlie?" Charlie smiled and he said, "Kind of. You think, do you like it, Bobo?" "Do you take requests?" Bobo asked. Sure. What would you like to hear?" "Far, far away, maybe, Charlie." "I'd be happy, I don't know the words. Can do impressions Bobo, look, what's this?" Charlie took off the shoes on his feet and he squatted on the floor. Then he slowly got to his feet and he did this pirouette like a ballet dancer. And then he jumped in the air with both arms up. And as he came down, he landed on one foot and suddenly let out a loud squeal, which rattled Bobo, who flinched and almost threw a right hook in Charlie's direction. "What the heck is wrong with you, Charlie?" Bobo shouted. I think there's a thumbtack in my big toe," said Charlie. Bobo went over to Charlie and he said, "I'd be so glad to get away fishing for a while." Suddenly Bobo realised what he had just said, and Charlie almost stopped breathing, and he said, "Did you say fishing?" Bobo folded his arms and he said, "Did I?" "Yes, you did, and I'm coming." "So, where are we going, Bobo?" Charlie replied. Bobo folded his arms even tighter, and he said, "It's where I'm going, Charlie." "Okay, Bobo. Where are you going this year?" "Ballywalter's where I'm going," said Bobo. "Where's Ballywalter?" asked Charlie. "Nowhere," said Bobo. "That's great, I'm coming too," replied Charlie. Bobo turned and quickly glanced into Charlie's face, and he said, "Don't be silly, Charlie, you're already there. Now give over." Charlie put his head down, and with a sad tone he said, "Okay, if you say so." Bobo could see Charlie was a bit hurt, and he felt sorry for him. "Okay, you can come. All day, every day, for a week and a half if you want. Charlie, don't ever ask me why or where are we going ever again." Charlie looked up and he said, "Okay, so where are we going?" Bobo looked at his watch and he said, "God give me patience. Charlie, you'd better be ready when I call. Set your alarm. I'll come and knock at your door about 6 a.m. Let's go now, come on." They put away the brooms and locked up the equipment cupboards, and then Bobo closed the door of the gym, and they both made their way out down the landing of the stairs into the floor of Bosco's boxing club. Then, turning off the main switch, they slowly walked down to the first floor and out into the street. Bobo locked up the door at the entrance, and then they both made their way through the centre of town and back home to the village. Next morning, Bobo was standing there just before 6 a.m. knocking on Charlie's door. So far nobody had opened up, so Charlie threw a stone up and hit the upstairs bedroom window. And Charlie opened up the window and he stuck his head out. He was still in his pyjamas and yawning. "I came out, Bobo." Bobo stood back and he shouted, "Didn't I tell you to be ready at 6? Don't scream at me, Mum. I set the alarm. It's all her fault," said Charlie, whose mum now stuck her head out the window. "What on earth are you doing at this time of the morning, Bobo?" Charlie's mum shouted down. Bobo replied, "I've come to bring Charlie out fishing, as we arranged." Charlie's mother went on, "Oh, yes, I know, but Charlie said to set the alarm for 8 a.m., not 6 a.m. "I never," said Charlie, who was busy throwing on some clothes, and he rushed out of the house, still in his pyjama pants. Bobo stood there amazed, and he said, "Charlie, have you forgotten something?" "Oh, yeah, thanks, Bobo," Charlie replied, and he rushed back inside the house and he brought back his electric griller. Bobo stood there curiously and he asked, "Charlie, what's that for?" Charlie lifted the lid and he started to show Bobo all the features of the griller, and he said, "It's going to cook up some of the fish like when we catch them. Be really nice for us, Bobo." Bobo shaking his head. "Why don't you grab the TV, Charlie, while you're at it, and we can watch some of those new movies on the Sky Channel?" "Oh, good idea. Now you're talking, Bobo," said Charlie, who ran back inside the house, and a few moments later he returned with his portable colour TV. Bobo nearly burst out laughing, and he had to restrain himself and said, "Now, Charlie, all we need is a power point on the rowing boat." Charlie's mouth dropped, and his bottom lip started to quiver. "Oh, I'm sorry, Bobo." "That's all right, Charlie. You've never been fishing before, have you?" "How did you know?" Bobo smiled. "Oh, I don't know. A lucky guess, maybe." "Now let's just go before the day's done." And by the time they got to the boat shed at Ballywalter, they found it was locked. They checked all the windows and the doors, but there was no way in. "Oh, Bobo, what are we going to do now? Our whole day's wasted. 2 hours on a train, 6-mile walk here to find you can't get your boat." Then it started to rain. Lying outside the boat shed was an upturned boat that Bobo decided he would borrow. "Oh, look at that. My friend's left his boat here. So everything's okay," said Bobo. "Gee, Bobo, you've got some nice friends here," Charlie said. They lifted the small boat and they carried it to the water's edge, and a set of small oars were dropped inside of the boat, and soon they were there making their way out from the shore. And the rain was getting heavy, and the boat was afloat on the top of the water, and Bobo suggested that maybe they would head under the Bangor Bridge. But Charlie, who was feeling a little bit light-headed, wanted to head back to the shore. And Bobo opened up the haversack and he threw some bait into the water, and once the fish were around, he cast a net into the water and began to scoop up the fish inside into the boat, and Charlie was getting more and more seasick, and Bobo began to throw the rows back and forward. Once they were on land again, Bobo told Charlie it was his job to sort out the bigger fish from the smaller fish. Turning the boat upside down again near the boat shed, Bobo swung into action. He threw some of the large fish high up in the air, and he caught them with the other open hand. He looked out at the people who were passing by, just beyond the steps by the pier, and he started to make a friendly sound with a yodel and a yippee-yahoo, and then, as he had their attention, he said with a lilt in his voice, "Come and get your fresh fish. Buy one or buy them all, large and small. They're a bargain at half the price. Just cough for your pleasure. Come and have a look. Cleaned and gutted on the spot. Some are hot, some are not, and some are all fresh. Not one you'll find is not." Charlie stood back in wonder and watched Bobo start to attract the custom. Bobo turned to Charlie and he said, "Quick, Charlie, come on, do something. Here they come." "What am I going to do?" Bobo just said, "Hum a song or something, or tell a joke or two. Look like you're a man who knows what it's all about. Here, put the money in this bag." People crowded around the upturned boat, and Charlie said, "That's right, folks. Here are the fish, all right, straight from Bullywalter's waters. Eat them right now while you stand on the spot. It tastes as well like let me sample one for you." So Charlie grabbed one of the fish and he took a bite, immediately spat it out and stood on the side in a fit of coughing and murmurs, and some of the customers looked frightened and puzzled. But Bobo jumped in very quickly and said, "Charlie, I told you about 1,000 times to clean out the guts before you take a bite." Everybody started to laugh, to think that it was probably part of an act that they did every day. Bobo threw Charlie another fish, and Charlie threw it back, and Bobo started to juggle a number of fish over his head, and pulling out a small switchblade knife from his pocket, he cleaned out one or two as he juggled them, and the crowd were stunned by the speed of Bobo's hands. Charlie was humming away a tune and made up some words in the process. "Charlie will take 5 bob for a fish, so give me half a show of hands until they're gone." The crowd were 5 deep by now, and hands went up in the score of as many as more as the fish were cleaned and gutted on the spot. Some wanted half a dozen, others wanted just one, and they wanted them all as they were. Some wanted them cleaned and gutted, and Charlie took the cash and put it into the bag that he was holding, and Bobo was busy with the juggling and the carving. Some of the customers took photographs of Bobo, and when all of the fish were sold, Bobo and Charlie said thank you and closed up the business for the day. Then they started to count up all of the money that they had made. There was £70 or more in total, and Bobo smiled and he said to Charlie, "Sure, it was a decent day's takings, Charlie. Come on, let's go and get ourselves a drink." The end.